Going on, boys? Welcome back to the COD Zombies ranking and analysis series. And today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about underrated guns, specifically in Black Ops 2 Zombies for now, because that's what I'm most familiar with. And let me explain in case you don't know, right? If a gun is underrated, it basically means that it's better than people think it is. Or it's like just a low-key good gun. You know, like you get it, and like most of these guns aren't the best guns in the game. Don't get me wrong. In fact, most of them aren't. But they're just low-key good, you know, and people don't really talk about it enough. So here today, I'm here to give these guns the love that they deserve, you know. So obviously, it's not as we go up the list, it's not that they are necessarily going to get better, so they're getting more underrated. You'll get it. But not wasting any more time, at number 10, we have the Uzi. Now, what I have to say about the Uzi as a Mob of the Dead fanboy, right, is I know a lot of people really like the Tommy gun, the M1927, and I get it, it's a cool weapon, but to me, the Uzi has way more wall buys, and honestly, I think it's just better. You know, it has a really, really fast rate of fire, it is just as good, if not better, for points as the M1927, much more accessible, cheaper. I just find the Uzi to be a lot better, more convenient, and that's just what I've always gone for. And then number 9. Alright, this is another kind of exclusive wall weapon. We've got the STG. Now, the thing about the STG is, like, there are so many wall guns on Origins. Well, not even just wall guns, so many exclusive guns. And just with all the stabs and you know, the Mauser and all these other things, there's a big oversaturation of really good weapons. So something like the STG just kind of falls... Because the thing is, like, by the time you get to an STG wall buy, you already have your MP40. You know, so it's just, with how few points you have when you're setting up on Origins, the STG just doesn't really come into the picture. But it is genuinely better than the MP40, and it is a pleasure to use. So, I'm a big fan of the STG. It's never really the move to get it. It's just never really convenient, you know. Another Origins exclusive here, we got number 8, the Scorpion. Now, this is an interesting one. It plays a little bit like the Uzi, because it has a really, really fast rate of fire. But the Scorpion genuinely just tears up zombies. It's really powerful. It does lack a little bit in ammo, but overall, I think it's a really fun gun to use. And again, I think it suffers from the same problem where, you know, you're not really going for the box on Origins that often. So, it just, you never really see it. You know, it's just... It's kind of just another one of those guns that just is under the rug because, you know, on Origins, like I said before, there are so many other options. So it just gets lost, especially compared to guns like the Scar. You know, it just gets left behind. And actually, another Origins exclusive weapon here, we have, this might come as a surprise, but I think the Wind Staff is very underrated, specifically the upgraded version, right? And here's the thing. I know that the Ice Staff is objectively better because it has more ammo, right? 50% more ammo is a lot. But the Wind Staff is the only one of the staves that truly does infinite damage, for one, which is nice. And also, it's much more powerful just overall than the Ice Staff. It's better at saving you. Yeah, it's not fantastic at saving you, but it's better, you know? And for me, I've always really loved the Wind Staff. And, like... The fact... Okay, here's the thing. The fact that people think that the Lightning Staff is better than the Wind Staff genuinely boggles my mind. Like, I have no idea how you reach that conclusion. And I think the Lightning Staff is kind of garbage. You can contest me in the comments down below, but I personally think the Wind Staff is the second best staff, in my opinion. I really think that's... I don't know, like... If you guys have other opinions, let me know, because to me, that's just... I don't see how you could think anything otherwise. But I'm not going to get too deep into that right now. But moving on here. At number 6, we have the Python or the Remington New Model Army. They're the same gun. And the reason why these are underrated is simple. The Executioner. The Executioner is so commandingly good. It's like the best shotgun in the game, but it's a pistol. And like, I could gush about it, right? But long story short, the Executioner is amazing. So you usually just take that over the Python. But the thing is, that doesn't stop the Python from being, like, really good, you know? It may not be quite as powerful, but it is still very, very good. And it has a lot more ammo, Pack-a-Punch, too. At least in the clip, which is a nice little feature, you know? So for me, the Python and the New Model Army are always really a pleasure. Like I said, not quite as good as the Executioner, but that's what makes them underrated. They still are really good. At number 5 here, we got another pistol, the 5.7. Now, here's the thing. I guess you could kind of throw in the dual wield too, but I feel like people like the dual wield. I'm kind of talking more so along the lines of just the single wield 5.7. Because, I don't know, for me, the 5.7 has just always felt really good, you know? Yeah, it's not the best, but it's just, no one ever talks about it being good, you know? But genuinely, it's not that bad. It's good for points, you know? I don't see why you would ever really go for it off the wall in Origins, but I have before, and you know, it's fun. And I guess it's just, to me, the 5.7 just feels really nice. And it's not bad at all, you know? I don't know what else to say other than it's a fun gun. I just really enjoy it. And always a pleasure with the 5.7, you know? But, now we're getting into some more guns, kind of like the STG, that are just overshadowed. At number 4, we have the PDW. Now, I think it was the Smith Blaze who once said that the PDW was the best wall gun in COD Zombies for a very brief time. And that time is the time it takes to get from the PDW wall buy to the AN94 wall buy in Die-Res. And that's just, it's such a funny statement, but like, it's really true, because the AN94 is just so overbearingly overpowered. And the PDW is more, well, actually, the PDW is in Origins and Mob of the Dead. I think it's Mob of the Dead, so it gets a little bit of time to shine there. But, you know, compared to the AN94, it gets overshadowed a lot. So, yeah, the PDW, genuinely really good gun. A pleasure. And, like I said, the AN94 just totally buries it. on those two specific maps, and that's why it's so underrated, because why would you ever get a PDW when you can just get an AN94, you know? And kind of similar logic here in the next one, the SVU-AS. Now, this sniper rifle, like, here's the thing. Like, I've known for years that this thing is underrated, but then, like, I used it again when I did, like, my buried, Pack-a-Punch challenge, and I was like, wow, this thing is actually really good, you know? Like, and that's, like, that is truly an underrated gun right there, when, like, even me, like, goes back and I'm like, wow, that's actually a lot better than I thought. And, like, it's really powerful, but still is semi-automatic. And you can even spray with it if you need to. It's just, the SVU is a really solid gun, and the thing is, like, it's low-key just because, you know, it's a sniper, you don't go for it that often. But again, it has the same thing where it's just outright, why would you get it if you could get the AN94? Because unlike the PDW, which is on other maps, that the AN94 is not, the SVU is cursed to only be on the same maps as the AN94. So, it's truly a case of why would you get that when you get the AN, you know? Tragic stuff, but I do love me some SVU. Very, very tight gun, you feel me? But at number 2, this is another gun that is just low-key good. That's all I gotta say about it. It's the MTAR. And here's the thing, right? Unpack-a-Punch, it has the same kind of recoil effect that the Hammer does. Not that great. Well, it's alright. It's alright, don't get me wrong. And then when you Pack-a-Punch it, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And that's just the thing about the MTAR overall, is like, there are so many garbage assault rifles, like the FAL, in my opinion. The SMR, you know, even the Type 25 a little bit. But even compared to, like, the Type 25, the MTAR is, it's weird because, like, there's a class of assault rifles that are truly great. M27, AN94, Galil, Scar. And then the ones that are bad, and then the MTAR is just in the middle. Like, it's solid. It was just kind of on its own being good and not being extraordinary or terrible, you know? I think there's something big to be said for that with the MTAR. I think there really is. I enjoy using it. I guess, as I've said, always a pleasure. But, getting into my number 1 underrated gun. This one, oh boy. The M1216. Hear me out, okay? The M1216 may not have a lot of ammo, but and Unpack-a-Punch just kind of trash. But Pack-a-Punch this thing, slap on some double tap, and it is so clutch. Like, here's the thing, right? We talk about the Executioner, like, one-shotting to, like early 30s, right? Well, the M1216 is like effective around that time, but it has more ammo, fully automatic. You just spray it. And I mean, right now I'm showing clips of me getting in huge clutches on Origins with it, I'm sure, you know? And it's like, just maybe from my experience with that alone, I was just like, wow, the M1216 totally carried me, you know? And even the Executioner would have had a hard time carrying out some of those sequences. So M1216, it's not the kind of gun you're going to get a huge amount of kills with, but it is genuinely a really good save-me weapon. And I am personally a big fan. I'm a big supporter of the M1216. So, yeah, boys, top 10 for underrated guns is kind of a lot, honestly. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get this many, but I genuinely think there's a case for all of these here, you know? So, down below in the comments, let me know if I forgot anything, if you think I'm wrong, if you think my takes are bad, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to show your support, go for it. But yeah, I'd like to get more into these kind of top 5s, top 10s, and you know, I'm doing a lot of Black Ops 2 exclusive stuff, and I'm looking forward to expand more into other games, and you know, just keep going with this because I think it's really fun. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.